In this episode, we will start coding by defining the authentication components layout. So, before we start, let me explain to you what is the difference between the authentication layout and the normal layout. Usually, when you run the application, you see a NabBar on the left side, and there is the content of the pages. Basically, what we mean by a layout, it's a component that's shared between other components and actually it defines the structure of let's say, the page. So here, for example, in the app layout, we say that there is a component, which is the NabBar, and here is the body, which contains other components. Maybe you can set a footer here, a header. So this is a normal component that's already defined by Microsoft in the Blazor WebAssembly template. But what we want to do is to create a very basic layout like this. It doesn't contain anything, no menu, nothing. Maybe we can add a little footer, but the basic thing what we want to concentrate on is basically just set the body here in the middle. So it's gonna be the layout for two components, login and register. Maybe there is other components like forget password, reset password, email confirmation or whatever. So this is the layout that we want to create now, and just define the login component and register components to use this layout, and other components like plans, to do, and anything else that we'll use inside the project gonna be used this layout. So let's move to Visual Studio and see how we can do this. Okay, first you go to shared, and here I can click add new item, choose a razor component. I will call it auth layout. Hit add. Okay. Now, before I proceed, let's go to here in the shared folder. From the name, like it contains all the shared things between the application. So here we have an already defined layout called main layout. Okay, what I can see here is a normal HTML code, but here we have an inherits from layout component base, which is the basic class for layouts. What we see here is simply a dev sidebar that has a nav menu. Nav menu refers to this component that actually has all the menu items on the left hand when you run the project, and it has the part, this one, which has other pages or other components. So they say body, which means this is the body of the page that has dynamically changed, that we can replace component with another one by navigation when we navigate from the home page to the counter or plans to do items or whatever. We say this is the body, and we can define other components here like nav menu. We can set a footer, we can set a header or whatever. We want to do the same thing, but doesn't contain all of this, just a box in the middle and the body that has to contain the login and register page. So let's get started. First, I will inherit from layout component base. This is the first step. The second step is I will create a div. I'm not that good at web design, but I think I can do something. Yeah, here I will set a class. I will call it middle box. Okay, and here I will set the body. And here I will say h1, welcome to PlannerApp, like this. Okay, let's remove the code. Now here in the body, I think a little like this. Now I will go to the Css file and define this middle box class to make this div count in the center. So we can go to www.root css and site.css. Okay, here were all the main template created by Microsoft, the CSS things existing here, so we can put middle box. Okay, I'll give it a margin top 150 pixel, and we can give it a, put it in the center, margin auto. Yes, I think let's do this, and set the width to 350 pixel. Let's set some shadow for that box, 8 pixel, 10 pixel, 18, and set a gray color like this. Okay, and let's set a border radius to 20 pixel. Okay, just set a little corners, radius corner for our box, so it's like this. It's pretty easy. Now let's test that. I will go to the pages counter, okay, or index page. Okay, this is the index page. The main layout is the default layout for all the components to create. So if I want to tell Blazor like this component will use the auth layout, I can simply here say layout. Okay, it is auth layout like this. So now basically the index component gonna use the auth layout as its layout in the page. So let's start the app and see. Okay, this is the box we created. As you can see, the component located in this box. It looks good if we want to put the login and the register here, but I think if we go to inspect and let's choose this box, okay, like this, we need, if we increase the width of this box, okay, like this, it looks good, and it needs like a little padding, so it will look amazing. So we can go to the site.css, let's say it's 450, and we need to set padding like 30 pixel. Okay, let's start again. Okay, now it looks pretty, right? So this is the layout of the authentication. The login register will be located here. Now if we go to /counter, for example, okay, this is the main layout. Like you can see here, this is the NabBar, contain the menu, maybe you can add footer or whatever. So this is the layout concept in general, how to set the layout of a specific components or whatever. This is everything for this episode. Now in the next one, we will start implementing register function by designing the component, creating the register component, then create the models, make the request to the API to create a new user. So see you in the upcoming video.